I just got out of a meeting with my DHS caseworker, and she is threatening me once again to take everything unless I go and get a job. I explained to her I can't go and get a job. Actually, it's not even that I can't. It's that I do not want to. I have been on welfare for 13 years. 13 years I have been on Section 8, so I haven't had to pay rent. Okay? Food stamps, cash assistance, disability. I don't even know how a job works. Okay? I don't want to work. That is the whole point. I don't want to work. I told her she is not going to take my food stamps. She is not going to take my Section 8. And I'm still not going to work. You trying to get me to work and me refusing is a you problem. It's not a me problem. I will continue to sit at home on my while the taxpayers work and support me and my children. Because if you are in America and you pay taxes, that is your responsibility. So, no, sweetheart, I'm not going to work. Thank you.
He done it again, didn't he? Trump and them trying to get rid of Section 8. What y'all gonna do, ladies? All you modern women that's been abusing and living off the system for years, what are you gonna do now? You might need to do like Jada Pinkett did and set it off and go find Mr. Nate and work out a deal, because you gonna need a place to stay. And do I have any sympathy for y'all? Absolutely not, because these them same women that during the pandemic refused to pay rent for 2 years, and then when it was time to stop paying, still refused, and you had to get a court order to get them evicted just for them to call Pookie and them to strip all of the piping and wiring out your house? And that's a doggone shame. And I know what y'all gonna say. Keith, why are you always coming for black women? I ain't mentioned nothing about race.
So not only has the state of Michigan taken my food stamps, my cash benefits, my Section 8, my disability is now on hold. I appealed it. They gave it back. They have taken it again. And they are telling me that I owe over $30,000 in food stamps in cash that was put on my card that was not supposed to be put on my card. So now I have to pay it back. Not only that, they are threatening criminal charges for the F word. F-R-A-U-D. They are threatening criminal charges because I used food stamps that didn't belong to me. You put them on my card. I have done everything these people have asked me to. For the last 13 years. I have done everything. They wanted me to sell my Range Rover. I did that. They wanted me to sell my Mazda CX-5. I did that. What next? Do you want me to sell my home? I mean, this is just unreal. Like, what can I do? Do I need to get a lawyer?
I'm a landlord, and I would never rent to a Section 8 tenant ever again. Every single Section 8 tenant that I've ever had has always been very respectful, hardworking, and they have always taken care of my properties. I've actually only had one Section 8 tenant that ruined my property, and her little girl burned my house down. The mother left the child home alone, and she tried to cook herself something to eat. There was a grease fire, and the entire house burned down. So other than that, I haven't had any other issues. All of the women that are on that program are delightful and easy to work with. The problem that I have with Section 8 is the Georgia Department of Community Affairs. DCA makes the housing voucher recipients recertify every single year. They want to look at their income and see how much they're making so they can determine if they're still eligible for the program or if they're going to have to start paying a portion of their rent on their own. And sometimes, in some cases, I've had tenants lose their income and then DCA will end up paying 100% for them, where in the past they only pay half of the rent for them. So now if the tenants don't turn in their recertification paperwork on time, DCA will terminate the lease and they will notify the landlord that the tenant didn't turn their paperwork in on time, and so starting the next month, you will not receive rent. It's totally unfair to the landlord. And I had this happen to me last year where the tenant didn't do her paperwork on time and I didn't get rent for 2 months. Now, I'm a single woman. I'm not a big, rich corporation, and I do have a commercial loan that I have to pay every single month. And so, yes, I do need the income from that property so I can pay that loan as well as other expenses that I have. What happened last year is that she got all her paperwork turned in, and then I didn't get rent for 2 months, and then they gave me back pay.
I personally don't agree with a lot of things Trump is saying, but this one specific thing makes sense to me. To all the people that's on Section 8, he is giving y'all 2 years to get on your feet. Trump said stop being dependent and become independent. I agree. I'm not knocking nobody's situation. But if you really think about it, Section 8 is only to assist you to get on your feet. Section 8 is a stepping stone to get you on your feet. Section 8 is not something you should depend on for the rest of your life. Government assistance is not something you should depend on for the rest of your life. Keyword, assistance, to assist you. Y'all done got too comfortable. There's people that's been on Section 8 for like 10 plus years. That's a long time. Within that amount of time, you should have a lot of money saved up in your bank account, in your savings account. Y'all too busy buying the newest shoes, buying the hottest cars, trying to keep up with the trend, buying designer purses, buying designer clothes, but you're in public housing. If you can buy designers, you can pay your house rent without assistance. Let that sink in. If you can buy designers, you can pay your house rent without assistance. I mean, I get it. There's a lot of single mothers out here also that need those type of assistance. But if you just comfortably living off Section 8 and don't care, that's crazy to me. That's the reason why nobody else can get in, because y'all be on Section 8 for years. Y'all not thinking outside the box. Y'all being so dependent. Stop being so dependent and let's become independent.
Hey family, I'm back. I found out something else. I don't know if y'all heard or not, but Trump is getting rid of that Section 8 and EBT for these people that don't want to get out here and go to work. Your time is up, baby. Y'all, I know most people like us really not feeling Trump, but I'm kind of feeling him on what he's saying about this. Now, how many of y'all have family members, friends, people you know that's been living off Section 8 for 20 years? They rent $3. They don't go to work. Not that they can't go to work. They don't want to go to work. Now, let me say this on the sidebar. They do have some people that need Section 8. Some people that, medically, they can't go to work. Or, they just can't physically. I get it. I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to these ones that your mama been on Section 8 all her life and she ripping and running and doing this and doing that. And then you seen she was on Section 8, paid $3 rent. So now you as a young girl, because you done got pregnant and you got a baby, you go run out there and get on Section 8 and you ain't working and you having child after child after child and y'all all on Section 8 getting food stamps, $1,000 a month. And no, that's all about to stop. That's who I'm talking to. Okay? Trump said that's enough. So for us people that goes to work, that's working, he said you got to have at least 30 hours. Okay? 30 hours a week to qualify for the program. All right? So most of us that work on a regular basis, 30 hours ain't nothing to us. This is what we do. So guess what? We going to be the ones walking around in the grocery store with the big baskets because we deserve it. All these years, they've been letting people with no job. They walking around with 2-3 baskets full of groceries, and us hard-working people, we got a little handheld basket with 2-3 items in there, because that's all we have left out of our check. And they sitting around getting fat food, eating lobsters and shrimp and crabs and all this other good food, and we can't even eat that. And we the ones going to work. So I'm glad Trump didn't flip the switch, baby. So all y'all that's living it up right now, that's able-bodied to go to work, and you're choosing not to go to work, you better get ready. Because, baby, y'all finna get them notices. And them notices gonna come soon. And like he said, real quick. And those of us that go to work, we ought to be able to go and apply for some food stamps and see what it feels like. To be able to go in the line and slide a card with pride. Because it's not for the ones that don't have nothing. It's for the ones that's working to have something. It's our turn now, y'all. So I'm telling y'all right now, if you able to go to work, you better get out there and start filling out them applications. If you want to have a place to live. It's time to get up and stop being lazy. Because, baby, this is not the American way no more. Trump said no. And y'all can be mad all you want to. I told you, things are changing. You ain't gonna like it, but guess what? You got to go with it. So that's what I got for y'all today. No more Section 8 EBT for people that don't want to go to work. Y'all time is up. Leave a comment, y'all. Let's talk about it.
I'm screwed. I'm screwed. They took my food stamps away. Just went grocery shopping at Kroger. My card was declined 3 separate times. Not only that, my cash benefits was not added on my card today. My Section 8 is now red flagged. My caseworker is not even trying to work with me. Not even trying. She said because I have this Range Rover and this BMW that I refuse to sell, that all of my is on a hold right now. How can the government force somebody to sell a vehicle? The vehicles aren't even in my name, so they aren't even mine. Yes, I drive them. Yes, they're in my boyfriend's name, and we do live together, but they're not in my name. How is this okay? Is this happening to anybody else, or is it just me?
Getting answers on a topic that could affect people using Section 8 housing programs. Voucher holders locally have received letters warning them of federal funding being halted and potential rent increases.
So much uncertainty many face across this country. That includes those who rely on these vouchers for safe and affordable housing. On March 13th, the Commonwealth's Executive Office of Housing and Livable Communities sent a letter to Section 8 voucher holders, warning them that their rent in the next year or two might go up because of, quote, rising costs and insufficient federal funding. And the agency will have to stop its flexible tenant policies. Here's some of what is stated in this letter obtained by Western Mass News this afternoon. It says, quote, unfortunately, we can no longer afford to offer many of these special policies to our participants, and will have to return to using many of the same policies that most other housing authorities use. The letter goes on to say, we understand that will increase costs for many households, but we made these choices to ensure that our program can serve as many households as possible given limited federal funding. Now, for context, here are some of those policy changes. EOHLC will no longer pay for a household security deposit, no more earned income deduction in rent calculation, no utility allowances for hot water and cooking, no extra grace period for lower payment standard changes, and $480 of a full-time student's income will be counted. EHLC says the changes will go into effect on or after May 1st at the voucher holder's next regular or interim rent certification.